Hello, everyone. This is Lady Treasure. Welcome to Penny Lane. I'm here to talk to you what I call real talk conversations, 20 of them. I'm doing a marathon to share some parenting thoughts with you about raising happy children. I say I'm able to do that because I am a mother, a grandmother, and a great grandmother, but also because I've been a professional edutainer for quite a while. Started at age 17, I'll be 69 next month. So for 51 years, I have been learning and growing, and I still am learning about how children tick, what's going on with them. I've always had a gift for them. I was told that by some of my teachers early on. My mother saw it, and I've just poured my life into children. I write children's books, I write songs, I create edutainment experiences. I've been doing that a long time, but I don't do events like I used to, and I don't even want to travel to do book tours. I just want to use the internet. I live in France now. My husband and he retired from, he's a school teacher, and before that he was military, and he always wanted to live overseas. I lived overseas in Portugal, England, and a little bit in Germany, just a little bit with my parents because of military, and so I was all for it. And so now this is our second home. We have a property in the States, but we don't live there. We live here. So I enjoy this life, the ministry we work with and all that, but I still want to talk to parents. I still want to inspire, educate, and entertain children. And I find that with AI tools and social media, I can offer those services. So I have 8 YouTube channels, not because I'm crazy and I just don't know what I'm doing, because you have to niche completely down to one specific thing if you want the algorithm to know you know about that thing. So that's why I did it. And then I have my umbrella company name, Penny Lane, my family entertainment company, and that's what this channel's about. So what do I want to do here? The behind the scenes, tell you about a book I have out. This one's not out yet because this came as a sample, and everything about it is not what I wanted. Even inside, on an earlier Real Talk, I said the mom was Mama Lamb, which is a different character on Baba Baby's Nursery Rhymes, my YouTube channel, but her name is Mama AI. That was a mistake. Anyway, the pages are too dark. It's not up to the edge, So I'll tell you about the books I'm working on. I'll tell you about the recent songs and check out my YouTube channels, all of that. I'd love it if you would. But I'm doing these real talks just in case you don't care anything about my books, you don't care anything about songs, and you don't never go to one other channel. I said to myself, I'm going to talk to some parents and let them know I'm here, and also my experience, and leave a legacy of what we call evergreen content. Some good advice from an experienced person about any subject. It's useful, right? And you can choose if you want to hear it or not by the subjects. And I had 20 things I wanted to share in about 15-minute periods of time. And so I'm doing all 20 in a marathon setting and just posting them on my Penny Lane YouTube channel. And that's why I'm doing it, so that I can invite you to be a part of my Penny Lane community, but also to say this to you. If you don't want to be a part of my community, I still wanted to make a contribution. So you might have heard something in these 20 real talks that was helpful. See how simple? I'm just a straightforward girl. And isn't that funny? I love calling myself girl. I just try to think young. But it's what I love. And if I can say anything that encourages you because you're already doing a great job, or suggest something you didn't think of, or actually steer you away from that's a bad idea, I'm still that mama, grandmama, great grandma edutainer that would like to influence that if I can. Okay, so we are on number 6, real talk, and it's a tough subject. I'm going to go ahead and just give it to you, but I know it's controversial. The term discipline. We used to call it corporal punishment in the school days when they still had paddles, wooden paddles that they swatted us with. I was raised in that kind of time period. And but teachers and principals were allowed to physically discipline children. I'm glad about that change because some of that was safe. I didn't have abusive teachers, so I don't have a scary story about that. And I learned some lessons from the few times I had to get disciplined by a teacher. Actually, I can really only remember one. The second one was just a teacher who liked to pinch, and the school never told them that that was good to do. She just did it. Miss Goodwin, I know that you are long gone, so, God bless you. I'm not talking bad about you, but I just know that pinching me until I went potty on myself was not a good thing. So, yeah, that was my experience. But paddling was allowed, and no one really ever destroyed my life by it, but I'm glad that's gone. I think it's pretty much gone. Y'all tell me if it's any different. There are private schools, some Christian schools that have different rules and regulations might still be doing it. I didn't research to find out. It'd be interesting to know. But I do know that in our homes, in America and around the world, I'm dealing with parents in France right now, and African parents in this same community. And discipline is different everywhere. I want to tell you what I feel, what is centrally important for the child. That's what I mainly want to focus on. Whether you believe in using a belt or your hand or never striking a child in any way because you think that's violent and wrong, and it's teaching them that violence is the way to discipline. And there are some of us that were raised knowing that good, loving discipline, spanking taught us stuff that we never tried again. I'm from that school. But I raised my five, along with their father and the grandparents, with a little bit of both. I did spank at the beginning, but I discovered something that emerged. I talked in the last little conversation about emerging curriculum. Something emerged in my house that I noticed as my children were turning 5 and 6. They didn't need spankings. I'm not kidding. A stern talking to was enough to get any one of my five to just not do the thing. Stop pouting about the thing, or don't throw a tantrum, because I'm never going to respond to that positively. I mean, these are the kind of things I really want to talk about, because conversations and actual discipling them into a different choice is actually more important than the belt or the swat. Now, for the scriptures, for those that know the Bible, says that the rod of correction will drive that rebellion far from a child. And that's why a lot of church folks believe in an actual spanking. I'm telling you, I noticed that when I really let my child know this is going to be taken away, or you're not going to be allowed to go there, or do this, and this is why, and I gave you plenty of warnings and you still didn't listen, you're being hard-headed, I want you to learn, so that's it. Put my foot down, and so did he, when we were stable parents, because they did not have a stable environment. They had an abusive environment, which I believe contributed, just real talk, to my children chilling out on the front of acting out all the time, because there was so much trauma between the two adults in the house arguing and fighting. I think they just decided that they just didn't want to do it. Now that's sad, but real. And your children are making adjustments, trust me, based on how you are communicating with one another. I just think I'll just throw that in right there. If everybody's yelling and hollering, some of your children might grow up yelling and hollering as well, and some of them might just decide they prefer peace. All five of mine chose peace. I'm glad about that, and I give God the credit for it. I was not the argumentative type. I was the abused and pitiful victim type, and I'm glad they didn't choose to be victims either. Things happen in our relationships. Things happen in our homes. Mom, grandma, mom, dad, doesn't matter. They happen. Somebody needs to be a grown-up in the room, and somebody needs to get this right. You can't control what other people do, but you can control what you do. So don't strike a child ever but especially don't reach for them, grab them harshly in anger. That's never a good idea. I don't care if you throw the scripture back at me and say the Bible said I can correct them with the belt. The scripture does not tell you to deal with them in anger. In fact, it said don't provoke your children to anger. And that's what snatching them up and throwing them around does. The Bible doesn't back that up. Anyway, I'm not going to go churchy because I don't want people that are not of, I don't believe in God, they don't read the Bible, just say this is a churchy lady talk. I'm just a lady wanting to talk about being a mom, grandma, grandparent, and a child care person that says, let's talk about children and how we can do better as the adults in the room. Discipline is important. They can't do without it. They feel safer when you give them boundaries and guidelines. They really do. They don't know how to say, please give me lots of rules today because I don't feel safe. No, but you have to know that they need it. You have to know that they need a limit on screen time. And you have to have the discipline. Discipleship, discipline, they go together. You have to have the discipline, not get tired of saying it, but enforce it. 15 more minutes is 15 more minutes. It's a good idea to give warning times. It's fair for a child who is locked into a screen to understand at 9 o'clock, that's late, so that's for older children. Let's say 6 o'clock because bath time, dinner, bath, and bedtime is going to happen within the 7 o'clock hour. So laptops are closed. I know one of my kids and the husband and wife both do it. I've watched them. I'm so proud. They do it really well. They're very firm and they're very free as well. They're very free. Their children can just take toys and go here and yon all over this playroom or whatever. When it's all over, they have to pick it up, but they leave them free to explore. I love how they do that. But when they announce that tablets have to be shut down, they mean that thing. Both parents do it together. That's important. So you have to have the discipline to say that's the limit, no matter what age your child is, if they're still in your house. It helps them learn restraint. They don't automatically have restraint. The game is fun. That's what social media is. That's what, if they're of an age of social media, but I mean, that's what the games are about. They're repetitious, they're lights, they're bells and whistles and music. Ding, 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 ding. And they'll just go on and on and on, take it under their pillow. I heard someone tell me that they put their pillowcase over theirs and put it in there, and they would hit the thing so the light wouldn't show if mom came in the room, and then when mom left, they just hit it and went right back. You know, children will find a way, but you should have limits. And you should have the discipline to stick to it. That's what I mean by discipline. If you say it's dinner time and all electronics are done and we're going to look at each other and talk at the table, even if they're 5 and they don't understand it, you're teaching them what it's about. And you just say simple things. Don't say, I don't have to explain it to you, just do it because I said so. That's not good. That's not disciplining them. That's not discipling them, showing them how to restrain themselves. Say to them, the reason I like for you to put all the phones away and all the texting and all for the older kids and all of the electronics away is because I want to look in your face. I want to hear about your day. I want to tell you how I went at work for me today. You want to know about my job? I tell you what, make it funny, be light. Oh, they just still want the phone. Doesn't matter. We're going to eat food and we're going to talk. I don't want to talk. Okay, well, if you choose not to talk, that's okay. But the rest of us are going to talk. And I think it would be rude if we were trying to have a family dinner and conversation and you were on your device. So that's why it's a rule. Taking the time to explain that in a nice, comfortable tone is teaching them how to accept discipline. Everything's not about spanking. Everything's not about yelling. Really, yelling is not good communication for adult to adult. Let's just be honest. Sometimes we do it because we're just too expressive and too much passion. Now, my husband and I, he's 71, I'm turning 69. We barely raise our voices above a conversational tone like I'm talking to you right now because we are two chilled people. We were both married before twice, and we both had horrible times twice, and we are each other's favorite peace partner. And so we don't argue. I'm trying to tell you, we're in year 10 and we just don't argue. We absolutely say, I don't know, that's not how I see it. And he'll say, okay, and I'll do the same. But argument, no, no time for it. Discipline is learned behavior, and it's important for you to have some and share that with your children. I talked about screen time, but there's lots of things. Cleaning up a room, I don't care what age they are. They can't do it all. They can't scrub all the floors, vacuum everything, dust all the shelves, keep everything lined up neatly every single day of their lives. That's not natural for every child. Some children are like that, OCD, or just super neat. And you're blessed, that's great. But the average child isn't really like that. And they may be super messy, or they may be just so-so socks or a pair of pants or something laying down. Thank your I don't believe in lucky stars, but thank somebody if they're like that. But telling them why. Neatness means you're not going to trip over those shoes when you get out of bed in the morning. I gave you a shoe rack. There is a place for everything. Having the house clean represents the family well. Lots of things that you should explain why. You should also model it. Please don't. Please, I beg of you. Don't be sloppy and yell at your children to keep their rooms clean. And do not give yourself the excuse that you're the grown up, they're the child. That's not good leadership at all, period. Also, just because you have a job and they're going to school, well, going to school is their job. Everybody has things that we have to do outside of the house, starting from 6 years old and up, unless you're a stay-at-home mom, and they're going to first grade. We leave the house should be in order. So when we all come back, it's easier for everyone to function in it. It's polite for the other members of the family. There are a lot of things. I don't need to preach about this. You get it. And tell them, explain, stop the idea if you're doing it, that you don't have to explain. Just do it because I say so. No, do it because it's right, it's orderly, there's a reason. And after I have told you the reason several times, now, I might say, all right, you already know why, just get it clean. Mom, but I'm going to be late. No, you're actually not going to be late. You're actually not going to go if that room is dirty. You have to be firm and serious if you actually want to give them the security of the firm lifestyle that you want them to later adopt. They learn it at home from you. I think that's enough. 15 minutes is what I've given myself, and I've been talking 17 minutes and 54 seconds. So I'm going to end this, and we could talk about all of this for much longer than 15 minutes, or 17 minutes for that matter. But I'm going to let it go with this final thought. Be disciplined yourself. Model first. Want them to have a clean room? Keep your room clean. Want them to put away their devices? Put your devices away. Don't say, I'm an adult, you're a child, I don't have to explain. No, modeling it goes further than talk. Please trust me on this. They will show you a lot more growth when they see it done as a pattern in front of them all the time. All right, that's enough. Until next time, I'll see you on Penny Lane.